Italian cars have got a reputation for being fast and desirable and sexy. Back in the day, they covered walls on posters, and these days, they take pride of place on many computer desktops. And although they are the things of dreams, I doubt anyone has dreamt about this particular Italian. The Fiat Qubo, a small people mover that's basically a box with roof rails. It's not exactly the stuff of Italian legend, and without a doubt it won't be appearing on any desktops anytime soon. It's one of those cars that's designed to do a job, so let's see how well it does. There is one thing you notice when you first see the Qubo, and it's not the detailing on the back or its van-like profile. It's this huge front bumper, which Fiat says is there to protect the headlights and the radiator in the case of a low-speed accident. I don't know, I reckon you could drop it off a cliff and it would still protect whatever it has to. Fiat themselves call the styling of this car unconventional but likable. I get the unconventional part. I'm not indifferent about this car because it's not an Italian thoroughbred. I'm indifferent because there are better looking executions of the MPV idea. Volkswagen's Touran is not a lot different in terms of its boxiness, but it manages to look a whole lot more stylish. Another thing to consider is that the Qubo is one of those cars where colour choice makes a big difference. It's available in a not so subtle shade of bright green, which may sound horrid, but it goes a long way to adding a bit of personality to the package. There are two engine options for the Qubo, both with 5-speed manual gearboxes. The petrol is a 54 kilowatt unit, but our test car is fitted with a 55 kilowatt, 190 newton meter 1.3 diesel. Now, if you really want to, you can test its 155 kilometer an hour top speed, but then you probably won't match Fiat's fuel consumption figure of 4.6 litres per 100. That fuel consumption claim means you should get over 1,000 kilometers on a tank, which is a very useful number. Plus, its 119 grams of CO2 per kilometer means you dodge the carbon dioxide tax. But you'll have to keep those positives in mind when you're on the road, because there's not a lot of joy to be had otherwise. The diesel motor isn't too bad once you're up to speed, but to get there, you have to overcome some very obvious lag. And the whole time you're driving, you have to engage with this car's very rubbery controls. The steering isn't too bad, but the gear shift definitely feels like it's been made from some recycled Continentals. The suspension is also surprisingly hard, not in a bone-shaking kind of way, but you definitely notice the bumps. The upside of a car that's under 4 meters long is that it's very easy to maneuver around the place, plus its turning circle is under 10 meters. I was really looking forward to driving the Fiat Qubo because it looked like the kind of thing that had lashings of personality to match its quirky looks. But to be honest, there isn't much character in here, and I blame that squarely on the fact that this car is closely related to the Fiat Doblo delivery van. And let's be honest, when it comes to the priorities of a delivery van, it has to do a job rather than deliver an engaging drive. And that's what the Qubo feels like, a thing that helps you get the job done. There's nothing in the drive to rescue it from its utilitarian roots, and while it feels capable, it never feels like anything remotely resembling fun. But given that this kind of car is aimed at people who require it first and foremost to carry people and things and not be the most fun they've ever had behind the wheel, Fiat have concentrated on one particular area. And they've got it right. The interior layout is typically Fiat, but the materials are good and so is the spec, and there are lots of storage spaces. The two-tone seat treatment and the gloss plastics make it a very nice place to be. And its practical bits make it more impressive. Sliding rear doors for easy access in tight spaces, and rear seats that are completely removable. Up front there's electric windows, aircon, Fiat's Blue & Me system that includes a USB interface, Bluetooth, and a multi-function steering wheel. Besides its oversized headroom, the Qubo isn't exactly spacious in the back. It's comfortable, but let's just say your kids will be happier than your mates in those rear seats. The interior transforms the Fiat Qubo from something that would otherwise just be funny looking and not very fun to drive into something that's easy to live with every day. And the best part about it, it costs just 200,000 Rand, and that includes a 100,000 kilometer 3-year full maintenance plan and all the spec of our test car. So it may not make you smile every time you're behind the wheel, but it makes sense. The 1.3-litre turbo diesel is a little laggy, but once it's up to speed, it delivers enough power for hassle-free driving, plus impressive fuel economy. It has an interior that looks after its occupants well and offers good value. It's just not the prettiest or most enjoyable MPV on the market.